guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel and welcome if you're new. I'm Nika and I make book related videos. Today's video is going to be a basic and very important, I think, book buying tips and tricks video, and this is specifically targeted for young students, young bibliophiles, basically all of us broke people, and I hope you all will find these tips useful. You know the drill. Don't forget to click on the thumbs up icon if you like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. It would mean a lot to me. A certain disclaimer: all of the tips which I'll be sharing with you all today, they're all based on my personal experience. So if I may have missed out on any which you think you have used and not seen in this video, then feel free to write them down in the comments below, because I'm sure all of us will find it very useful. And yeah, without further ado, let's dive right in. Alright, so the first thing I want to tell you all is, which personally took me some time to come to terms with, is that when you're looking for, well, cheaper or affordable books, then you have to be open to buying or receiving second-hand books. I'm sure many of you don't mind it. I personally don't. I have seen many people in the Bookstagram, Booktube community who don't mind using second-hand books. In fact, they look forward to it. So I want to tell you, if you don't like using second-hand books but you're still under a budget, you should try getting over that mental block, because honestly, second-hand books are much cheaper. And another plus point is that if you are a literature student and if you're looking for some particular classic, for some particular literary criticism text or anything like that, second-hand books are the best. And you know why? When you buy second-hand books, you'll see that these books usually have annotations in them, and especially when it's a academic book you're looking for, these annotations come really handy. And when you're an English major student, English literature student, these annotations, whether it's a poetry book or a novel, they really give you the insight or the gist of that thing, or say the theme that's running throughout, stuff like that. So I would definitely say that if you have a budget and if you're broke, second-hand books are the way to go. Now, how do you source second-hand books? There are various ways to do it, so we'll go over them one by one. The first thing is, if you have social media, for instance, let's talk about Instagram, I would urge you to post a story, say, I'm looking for this book. If anybody is willing to sell it to me, please do DM, stuff like that. I have personally done it, and obviously the times when I've bought these books like that in second-hand format, they are much cheaper than even Amazon. And well, basically, if you're a broke student, that really helps. I've personally also sold many books like that via my Instagram, and I'll link a list of the books that I'm selling right now in the description box. So if you're looking for something, you can definitely check those out. So yeah, the first tip is just that, to check out well, the means or the things that you already have, that is via social media. There are also different pages, different groups in Facebook that cater to those needs, second-hand books specifically. So that's the first thing I would urge you to check out. The next thing is to actually check out the second-hand book stalls or bookstores. Now, where I live in Guwahati in Assam, there is an entire book market which caters to books, academics, novels, all of that, and it's called Pan Bazaar in Guwahati. Whoever lives here has heard of it. Whoever lives here has obviously gone to it. There is also a wonderful new book cafe there, which is amazing, but I'm digressing. But yeah, check out the local book market in your city, in your town, whatever it is, and most of the times there are second-hand bookstores there. If there are, I urge you to check them out. Then the next point, which is kind of related to this, is in the recent years, right now, it's January, and we have the 33rd Guwahati Book Fair going on right now, and I've seen that from the last 3-4 years, there are there are many second-hand bookstalls in the book fair. So it's great. I personally take quite a long time when I'm thinking of going to the book fair, because first off, I'll go to the various rows and see where the second-hand bookstores are located, and I'll note them down on my phone. And if I find something that I like, specifically for me, it's mostly second-hand books, and it's mostly classics, stuff like that, which I need for my course. I basically buy physical books when it comes to that, but fantasy, contemporary, those kind of books, I don't buy physical copies. I just read them on my Kindle. So Yeah, I would urge you to take quite some time when you're going to the local book fair, say, so that you can find out first where the secondhand bookstores are, buy the books there, and if there's anything you did not find in the secondhand books, only then go to the actual first-hand retail bookstores. So I think that's a great tip that has helped me. I have scored many great classics, many great books in this way, and let me tell you, it's very cheap compared to buying them firsthand in retail bookstores. Another good news for you guys is the day that this video goes up is probably going to be the 10th of January, I think, and Sunday. And as far as I know, Reader's Card is going to have a sale on the 10th onwards with books as low as, I don't know, 60-70 rupees. So that's quite a big deal. This is not sponsored, by the way. I know of it, so hence I'm informing you about it. So do check it out. I personally am a big fan of Bookchore. Again, not sponsored or anything like that. I have bought from them many times, and I really like it. Bookchore sells books which they have personally checked, so you don't get any bad copies or anything like that. I personally have bought quite a few classics and books like that from Bookchore. I'm seeing if I can find anything immediately, but I think those are kept separately for now. But anyway, yeah, and I'll also link some amazing bookstores from online platforms that sell secondhand books. But I do have a few right here. I'll just name them off the top of my head, but not really, because I have everything written down here. So there's Bookchore, there's Bookish Santa, there's Reader's Cart once again, there's the Basement Bookstore, Kitabe.store, Booking, the Book Depot, 99 Books Cart, and many others like that. I actually put up a story in my Instagram asking you guys to share your favorite go-to secondhand bookstores, whether online or offline, and you guys gave various wonderful answers. And some people said that College Street is a great place to shop for books. I personally haven't been there yet, so one day I will. But yeah, apparently College Street is a great place to shop for books and all of that. So yeah, I personally am a big fan of Bookchore. So this was a really short video, but before we end, I want to talk on two things. Firstly, when I announced on Instagram that I'm selling these books, check out this link if you want, there were many people who were like, whoa, we get new books now. But there were some people who asked me, well, in a polite tone, who asked me, why are you going to sell these books? Now, there are various reasons for this. First off, I am running out of space slowly. As you can see, I've all these shelves, and then recently, like last year, I built these shelves at the bottom. Then I also have a wooden shelf right here. I'm running out of space, firstly, and secondly, except for some classics or some canonical books, I won't really reread all of them. Some books I read once and I'll keep them and I'm never gonna read them again. Some books I bought just for the sake of collection. Some books I bought because I thought I would read them one day, but I haven't read them till now, and stuff like that, and I don't mind rereading personally, but there are some books you are going to reread, and some books you are like, nah, it's not worth rereading again. So that is why I have decided that instead of keeping hoarding all of these books for myself, some of the books I will be giving away as giveaway, or or even selling them. So I have decided it's no use for me to keep them because I'll never touch them again, and instead they can go to new homes, new owners who will love them, who will love to read them. And secondly, when I sell the books, I obviously get a bit of money which I can invest and save for my own future, for my own studies, for my own expenses, stuff like that. And yeah, what's the use of hoarding books when you're never gonna read them? Some books, yes, I keep them, obviously. For instance, some of the Sarah J Maas books, I still have them, although I haven't done a reread in quite some time, but I know that I really want to keep them, so I've kept them. But say some other fantasy books, some other contemporary reads, YA, stuff like that, I've sold over the past few months, and people have been really receptive and really liked it. I think basically, if you don't plan on reading the book again, sell it to someone instead of just hoarding it. It's useless, and hoarding is a practice we personally shouldn't do, I think. Then let's talk about the Amazon issue. I know that this is a very, very controversial issue because people are like, you should stop buying from Amazon, you should instead buy from indie bookstores. And yes, I believe it. And however, at the same time, I think that it's sort of a very, first world problem, or at least very, it's something that only economically privileged people can do. Sometimes, as much as I can, I try to support indie bookstores, actual bookstores, when I go to like the said book market in my town, which is Pan Bazaar. I go there, I buy books as much as I can from actual indie bookstores, or I buy books from the secondhand bookstores, or like I said, the secondhand websites that sell secondhand books. I try to avoid Amazon as much as I can, but I cannot say that I completely have given up on Amazon. Sometimes it's just difficult. Sometimes you have to buy books from Amazon, and especially for my Kindle books, I do still use Amazon to buy my Kindle books from. So I think it really depends on your financial well-being or financial status as of now. So I'm never going to tell you that stop using Amazons, stop supporting them. If you can do it, well and good, please do it. But if you cannot, I think it's really unfair to call out people for that, especially in a country like India, where lockdown began. People were committing suicide because somebody could not afford to buy their kids smartphones or laptops for the classes. People are still, recently I just saw this news that a village only recently got electricity. So there is a huge economic disparity in India, and I'm not going to tell you to just stop buying from Amazon. If you can do it, well and good, please do it. If you cannot afford to do it, and I understand things on Amazon are cheap, so yeah, it's basically, it depends on the independent financial well-being, financial aspects, or financial status, I would say. So yeah, that's that for my video today. It's quite short this time, I hope, and I hope these tips will help you and you actually do implement these tips. So yeah, that's that for today. I hope you like this video. Thumbs up, click on the thumbs up icon, and I'll see you very, very soon. Take care, and a very happy new year once again, because it's still New Year's. It's just 10 days past, right? I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.